Welcome to the Math Behind, where we take a look into the specific mathematics in different parts of our lives. Hit that subscribe button to get notified of our new videos as they get released. Today, we will look at the math behind March Madness, the annual college basketball tournament in the United States. March Madness is an annual basketball tournament held by the NCAA, featuring 64 teams competing for a national championship in both men's and women's tournaments. The tournament's single-elimination format means that one loss sends a team home, creating intense games and exciting upsets that captivate millions of fans. Each year, people fill out brackets trying to predict the winners, turning the tournament into a nationwide challenge. Beyond the excitement of the games, March Madness also shows how sports and mathematics connect through statistics, probability, and prediction. Let's take a look at how the tournament is set up to fully understand the math behind it. The NCAA tournament starts with 64 teams competing in a single elimination format. That means one loss and a team is out of the tournament. Teams advance through each round of the bracket until only two teams remain, who then play in the national championship to determine the winner. A committee ranks teams based on their performance during the regular season and conference tournaments. This ranking is considered their seed in the tournament. The 64 teams are split into 4 quadrants called regions, each with 16 teams ranked 1 through 16. Higher-seeded teams are usually matched against lower-seeded teams in the early rounds. This system is designed to reward stronger teams, but it also creates the possibility for surprising upsets, which are a big part of the excitement of March Madness. Upsets happen when a lower-seeded team defeats a higher-seeded team. These surprises are common in March Madness and are only one of the reasons the tournament is so exciting. They can completely change the bracket and sometimes lead to unexpected teams making deep runs in the tournament. Let's dive into the math behind single elimination 64-team brackets. Each team needs to win 6 straight games to earn the title of national champion. As the tournament progresses, the number of teams decreases by half each round. This creates a pattern called exponential decay, where the number of remaining teams keeps shrinking quickly. Starting with 64 teams, the field is reduced each round until only one champion remains. The tournament starts with 64 teams in the first round. Each round, we divide the number of teams by 2. In the second round, there are 32 teams left. Then, we move on to the Sweet 16, which continues on into the Elite 8. As each round cuts the remaining teams in half, we move on to the Final 4, and from there, we get our final 2 teams, which will face off to become the national champion. There are 63 total games in the NCAA tournament every year. Why only 63 games? If we know that there are 64 teams in the tournament, and all but one of them, the champions, will be eliminated, we can take the starting number of teams, 64, and subtract the champions, 1, and thereby getting the total number of games without counting each game individually. If we assume that each team has an equal chance of winning the NCAA tournament, we can find the odds for any team to win the championship by taking that one team and dividing it by the total teams in the tournament, 64. Now, each team does not have a 1.5625% chance to win the championship at the beginning of the tournament because some teams are just better than others, and therefore each team does not have equal odds of winning each game. It's everyone's dream to choose a perfect bracket in the NCAA tournament. Now let's talk about why that will most likely never happen. Given that each team can theoretically win each individual game played in the 63-game tournament, This gives us 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 billion, 854 million, 775,808 possible bracket scenarios. Why is it 9 quintillion? If we know that each game has two possible results, either Team A or Team B wins, we can use that as our multiplier or base in our exponent. The exponent will come from how many possible games there are. As discussed earlier, there are 63 games in the NCAA tournament, giving us 2 to the power of 63, which equals just over 9 quintillion possible scenarios. To put this in perspective, you are more likely to win the Powerball jackpot 31 billion times, get 14 trillion royal flushes while playing poker, get struck by lightning 614 trillion times in your lifetime, or flip a coin to heads 60 times in a row. If you wanted to guess a perfect men's and women's brackets in the same year, I would simply multiply the odds of getting a single perfect bracket by itself, giving us a 1 in 85 uncidillion chance of getting 2 perfect brackets in the same year. To put that number in perspective, you would have a much better chance of picking 1 exact grain of sand from all the beaches on Earth than filling out a perfect men's and women's bracket in the same year. Given those statistics behind perfect brackets, let's take a closer look into the fact that each team does not have an equal chance to win each game. Not every team has an equal chance of winning each game though. If we take the number 1 seeds and give them an 80% chance of winning each game, that means they would still only have 26.2% chance of winning the tournament. To get this number, we take our chance of winning, 80% or 0.8, and raise it to the power of the number of games that team would need to win, 6. But lower seeds have an astronomically lower chance of winning the tournament based on their lower chance of winning each game. If we assume one of the lower ranked teams only has a 30% chance of winning each individual game, that would equate to a 0.0729% chance of winning the NCAA tournament. Now let's break down how everyone can leave their advanced stats at the door and pick the best possible bracket using basic math. First things first, when picking your bracket, always remember that the higher seeded team is ranked higher for a reason. A lot of thought, planning, and effort go into deciding the seeds for the NCAA tournament. The number 1 seeds have been the best teams in the country throughout the year. The top ranked teams are ranked there because they are typically better than other teams. When choosing upsets, let's use math to figure out which upsets to pick. The 1-16 matchup only has a 1.25% chance of being an upset, as only 2 have happened in the history of the tournament. We can work our way down the percentages of upsets and see that the closer the teams get in ranking, the greater the chance an upset occurs. The 5-12 matchup has long been thought to give us the most amount of upsets, but the math doesn't support that. The odds of an upset creep closer to 50% until we hit the 8-9 matchup, which is essentially a coin toss. Like we mentioned earlier, the top-ranked teams are ranked like that for a reason. They rarely lose early in the tournament. While this does happen on occasion, the math supports keeping your 1, 2, and 3 ranked teams in each region at least for the first 2 rounds. If you are predicting an upset in the early rounds, it helps to remember that very few low seeds make it past the Sweet 16. We all love a Cinderella story of a lower seed making it to the Final Four. This can and has happened throughout history, but the numbers don't lie. Even if you choose an upset early on in the tournament, it is unwise to have that lower ranked team go further than the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. So let's put this all together and build your bracket. Number 1, respect the higher seeds, especially early in the tournament. Number 2, choose your upsets wisely. Sports is made for unbelievable moments, and we as fans love to see crazy upsets, but the numbers speak for themselves. Choose the statistically probable upsets to give yourself a chance in your pool this year. Number 3, the NCAA champion rarely comes from a seed lower than the number 3. So when looking at that team who's going to occupy your champion spot, make sure it is ranked in the top 3. And lastly, the statistically hardest game to pick is the 8-9 game. So have some fun with it. Flip a coin, choose the team with your favorite colors, or choose your favorite mascot. But if you want a different option than filling out your NCAA bracket this year, check out betterthanbrackets.com. This is an amazing way to enjoy the craziness of March Madness without having to crunch the numbers and do your research. Just gather your family around the table and let everyone pick their favorite mascot. Each time a team loses, that person loses their mascot. Last one standing wins. Better Than Brackets is a great way to bring everyone in the family, from 3 to 93 together, over a shared passion of sports. Check out betterthanbrackets.com to order yours today. Remember that March Madness isn't just about buzzer beaters and Cinderella stories. It's about probabilities, patterns, and the power of math. So next time you fill out your bracket, remember that they may bust, but the math never lies. This is March. This is Madness. This is mathematics. Thank you so much for watching the math behind March Madness. We will be back with more of this series in the future. Make sure you are subscribed to never miss a future video. And also like and share this video to others in your March Madness pool this year. Leave a comment below with who you are choosing as your national champion. Until next time, keep solving and evolving.